Hey YouTube, Matt Master here, coming at you with a deck profile I've been wanting to do for a while. I've tried a few times to do it, but I've always been interrupted. I got a new webcam, going to be setting that up soon properly so I can be doing videos. I didn't want, I could set it up, but I'd have to like hang it off my shirt, and I thought my phone would be a lot easier for this. This is a UA deck profile. I've been a UA player for a while now. I've tested it. It's really, really fun deck. It has some inconsistencies just because the archetype is, I don't think it's complete yet, or it's got a few holes in it that you have to fill with other spackle cards. But, you know, for right now, let me show you what I'm running. Again, really good build. I want to do this because I'm going to be taking a few cards out of it for my next build that you will be seeing soon, hopefully by the end of this week. But let's go with this. I'm running 3 midfielders. Sorry guys, trying to do this one-handed. 3 midfielder. All UA monsters have an effect that you can target one monster on your side of the field, return to the hand, and special summon one UA monster. That is an in-hand effect, so affects things like skill drain, which it due to monster effects on the field will have no effect on it since it's an in-hand effect. So that or Fiendish Chain always allows you to bring it back. But let me talk. That's for all the UA monsters. But for midfielder itself, it allows you to target one UA on your side of the field besides this monster, and return to hand to special summon another. So again, gets around Fiendish Chain if you for some reason can't use the other effect. And it's really good if you want to like push for game. If you already attack with one monster, attack with this, use this effect, bounce that back to hand, special summon another, and then get that attack off. So it's really good with like that. And it's the only low, non-high level monster, UA monster. It's the only level 4. That's what the inconsistency. The deck needs another UA that's 4 below. And then the deck would run perfectly fine if it just had one more. That's all we need. I played 3 Perfect Ace. Perfect Ace, it literally its effect is discard 1 card, and then you can negate 1 spell or trap card effect. Is it just spell or trap, or is it turn during? Okay, you can only use the effect during your opponent's turn. Oh, any card effect. So monster, spell, or trap, negate. Really good. Plus it's got a 2500 defense, so it's got a pretty big booty. So, if you ever just want to sit on it, just pop like your midfielder back or any of the other attacking ones, place that there, and then you got a bit of a defense. And it's a level 5. Running 3 Mighty Slugger, really good card. It's the big beater of the deck. It is literally what's the name? Armades, that's right. It's literally Armades. When he attacks, nothing can happen. No card effects are activated. It's got 2,800 attack points, and there's a really good combo I'll be showing you later on with it. Again, level 5. Next, we're going on to the 2 ofs. Well, this is the 2 ofs of my UAs. I kind of broke it down between the actual archetype and other cards. So, 2 UA Goalkeeper. Goalkeeper's got a really good defense with 2,800. Yeah, 2,800. Literally, get into the field in defense mode. Its effect is that once per turn, a UA monster cannot be destroyed. It doesn't have to be him. You just target one on your side of the field. Boom, can't be destroyed. 2 Blockbacker. Blockbacker's really... Hold on, let me... Alright. So Blockbacker... Actually, Blockbacker is really good. It's got 2,700 defense points. So it's a big booty. Plus, its effect is really good when your opponent special summons a monster. Say if they summon like, I don't know, Trish. And you can choose that monster, switch it from whatever battle position it's in, and then its effects are negated. So that means Trish's effect won't go off. Or any other effects. I'm just saying Trish because that's the meta. And 1 UA Playmaker. Playmaker's okay. It's got a pretty good attack with 2,600. But it wasn't really needed. It's good, but if it had a lower, I thought it would be like 3 or something like that, but still, lower level would have been awesome. What it really does is you can choose one of your UA monsters and give 800 attack points of this monster's attack points to that monster. So this monster literally boosts another by minusing it. That's all for the UAs. I run 2 Warrior Lady just so I can get the Searcher off from my midfielder. If you don't have midfielder, your plays are more or less dead unless you can like Stormforth or something like that. 2 Marauding Captain for more summoning more field presence, plus defends my midfielder if I can't pop it back. And 2 Spell Striker just so if I don't have anything that allows me to get off my like 5 and 6s, I can banish a spell from the grave to special summon this, and then I contribute to get my UAs on the field, because you want UAs on the field. That's all for the monsters. This deck has a really high spell count. I'm not even sure why, but it just does, and it works most of the time. Inconsistencies with like not having enough cards, but 3 UA Stadium is it's the field spell. I love archetypes of field spells. If it has a field spell in the archetype, I will run it. I don't care if it's crap, I will run the field spell. Because there's a reason. So, what UA Stadium does is, when it's on the field, if you summon a UA monster once per turn, you can add 1 UA monster from your deck to your hand. So, what you do is summon midfielder, search for slugger or anything depending on what's the situation. I usually, if it's first turn, I only open up 1 midfielder. I'll throw down Stadium, normal midfielder, and I'll add midfielder to hand because most of the time I have another UA monster in hand. And if I don't, I want to have 2 midfielder in hand. And then if a UA monster on your side of the field is special summoned during your turn, once per turn, you can increase all your monsters on your side of the field by 500 points, not just your UAs. So that really boosts Slugger. It boosts some of your low-level ones like Spell Striker and Marauding Captain. And, if you have, like, goalkeeper or blockbacker on your side of the field for enough time, they're going to be pretty powerhouses in attack mode too. I run the standard 3 jersey. Sorry, the sleeves are a bit sticking. It's been a while since I've taken them apart. So jersey is the equip spell card, really good. Just as the artwork shows, you really want to attach it to Slugger. So it'll increase Slugger's attack points by 1,000, and if it destroys an opponent's monster in battle, your opponent takes double the damage, and it can attack again, which is really good, especially in this meta. A second attack to wipe the field is amazing. The only downside is that if your monster doesn't get, if your monster's on your side of the field, it's still attached with this, your monster's banished, and I believe this card too? Oh, it's during your standby phase, so you still keep it on the field for your opponent, but during your standby phase, if this is still on the field, banish the equipped monster. So this card goes to the grave, but your monster's banished, which is a really big upset, except you usually return Slugger after this. Never play. I would advise, if you don't have another Slugger in this card to use, don't play it. You'll play the Slugger, don't play this if you can't return it to hand, unless you're pushing for game or something like that. Because if you return it to hand, and this card goes to the grave, because your monster was returned by hand, so even Phoenix Wing Blast will do this same thing, this card returns back to hand. So you get to recycle this card and your monster, and have a defense if you do it correctly. So that's really good. I run 1 UA turnover tactics for the last UA spell. I like it, but I don't like it. It wasn't what was needed. So literally, what you do is you have 2 or more UAs. You can return all your monsters, monsters on either player's side of the field to hand. Back to deck. Then special summon. Then you can special summon as many UAs as you want, up to the number of monsters you sent back. But then your opponent gets to special summon as many monsters they want, up to the number of monsters they sent back. So it literally rebuilds your team, your field. I understand that that's probably what they were going for. Turn over the field, bring out the new guys and all that stuff. But I just don't like giving my opponent the chance to search through their deck to special. So that's why it's only at 1. One of the best cards in the deck, especially for the new meta, I run 3, the Monarch Stormforth, just because you got a lot of level 6s and 5s that you really want to tribute over if you can't, special summon them with your midfielder plays or any other plays. You don't have to use midfielder to pop back, you can use any of them. So if you can't do that, just play that down, target, and, tribute. Everything's warrior, so you want to play 3 Rhoda. Just because you need to search for your midfielder or any of your low levels. You need them in hand. And if you search for Spell Striker, just use that. Spell Strikers, Banish, and Special, and then Tribute. I'm only running 2 Terraforming just because I know it's you kind of need this. You kind of need the field spell. But if I open or draw into my field spell, I don't want a dead card in deck. So that's why I only run 2. Only 2 MST. I built this deck before, the big meta switch, but I still believe there's not a lot of back row going on. There's some back row with like Yosenjus and stuff. But again, Slugger can go through anything, any back row, so I don't really have a fear of that. So that's why I only run 2 MSTs. 1 Dark Hole because I don't have Raigeki. 1 the Warrior Returning Alive because if any of your midfielders go to grave, I want them back in hand. And 1 Feast of Wild level 5. So I can special summon any of my... If I don't have any midfielders, I can special summon... Hold on, guys. Just move my foot because my foot fell asleep. Just in case if I don't have my midfielder or any low levels, I can special summon up to 2 of my level 5. So, like 2 Sluggers, 2 Aces, or 1 of each. They can't attack, but then I can go into overlays. But then I can bounce them back for other cards, or I can Xyz with them. That's all for the spells. Again, high spell count. I'm only running 4 traps. 2 Mistress of the Gnomes, which is one of the best cards ever in this new meta. And 2 Wiretap. Wiretap just to stop other traps. Literally, I don't need to explain that. But Mistress of the Gnome, really good card. What's effect does is when it's flipped face up, all monsters in either player's hand lose 1 level, even after summoned. So, and it's not till the end of the turn. They still lose the level. So you can end your turn. All monsters in your opponent's hand still have the level. So that like messes up with Necroz, messes up with any synchro based, except for Yang Zing, because I guess they only have like they're mostly level 1, so it doesn't really affect them that much. BA's really sucks if you're a BA player and you go up against this, but it really helps you because takes down your level 5s to 4, so that means hey, now you have the level 4s. I guess this is Konami's maybe secret little thing that they gave us this if you play UA. But again, it's a really good card. Also has a second effect that if it's in the graveyard, you can banish it to do the same. So if you need it and it's already in your grave, just banish it. Or if you just want to mess with your opponent. I side that in other decks just to mess with my opponent. Let's go to the extra deck. I'm gonna be taking a few things out of this just for my Yosenju deck. Staples, 1 Castel, 1 Cowboy because I only have 1 Cowboy. I'm gonna get another one. 1 Mie Stroke for defense. Rhapsody for banishing. 101 because it's 101. 103 because it's 103. That's all for the rank 4s. Rank 5s, I run Azurius. Because, Azurius is really good in this deck. Got a lot of 5s. Shark Fortress for a second attack. If I don't have the equip spell card. And 1 Tyras for a bit of offensive. That's all the 5s. And I have 1 Gauntlet Launcher because I do run 6s. And it's able to pop, so I like that. For the extra deck, for the side deck, I'm also just siding stuff that I just took out of the deck itself. There was a lot of cards I wanted in here. My 3rd Goalkeeper, because Goalkeeper is life sometimes. My 3rd Warrior Lady, 3rd Marauding, 3rd Spell Striker. I don't really move them in. 1 was Marmitting Captain. It's okay. You get to re-add 1 when it's normal summon. You can shuffle 1 card from your hand to the deck, then draw 1 card. If it's a monster, I can special summon. So I get possibly a free summoning for it, but if it doesn't, I get a card. I plus anyway. Well, technically, do I plus because I shuffle? I guess I plus because it's a card I don't want. Alright, so that's all the monsters on the side. Got Transmodify. I used to run that for the Spell Striker play to get midfielder. Or any of the other level 3 things you have, like your Marauding or your Warriors 4, like your Marauding or Spell Striker, just to get out your midfielder. or if you do play captain. One book because it's book. One pop-up. Pop-up is a card that came out in Duelist Alliance. I don't think a lot of people know about it. If your opponent has a field spell and they activate it, you can play one of your field spells from deck. So it's a terraforming, but it's situational. That's why I play it if I ever go up against another field spelling deck. The other warrior returning alive, just for more kind of like warrior monster reborn. So you want to keep that cycle. The third MST, if I ever decided in. Second, Feast of the Wild level 5. And the one Kaiser Coliseum. Not really sure about that because, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Just so my opponent doesn't really get off a lot of attacks. But with Trish, it kind of doesn't matter. For traps, I also have Wall of Disruption. Let me read this real quick. Okay, so your opponent, literally what it does when your opponent attacks, all monsters they control and attack position lose 800 attack points. It does not say end of the turn, so they still lose 800. Then you got Battleguard Rage and Battleguard Howling. Battleguard Rage is really good. It's when you can activate this card by targeting one warrior monster, you gain 1,000 attack points. Monsters destroyed by battle from that card is returned to the hand instead of going to the graveyard. And when that monster leaves the field, destroy this card. So, monster gains 1,000 attack points, and if that monster attacks a monster and destroys it, it goes to hand instead, which is really good if you're going against BA, because they don't get the effects off. And then Battleguard Howling. Okay, so when your opponent targets one of your warrior monsters for an effect, like say Trish or something like that. I know. I keep on saying Trish, just because Necroz are the main thing. So what you do is when you target one of your monsters, you target one of their monsters, and then they take damage equal to their attack points. So if they do Trish and they only have Trish, they target your monster. Use this, target their monster, they lose attack points, and it gets returned to the hand. Their effect still goes off, but, all that stuff. So, that's about it. Thank you guys for, all this stuff. Sorry, it's kind of, weird right now, because I'm trying to do it with my phone. I'm laying down. I'm not at a table or anything. So, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. Come back later for deck profiles, tech talks, all that stuff. I'm going to be starting a few new things once I get everything set up. And, thank you guys. Peace out. Hug your mama, hug your daddy, all that stuff, and peace out. Keep doing.